Okay, so now we're looking at doing the overview for this graph. We've already done the introduction, right? We have our introduction right there, and I talked to you about how when you have multiple graphs like this, that for your introduction you need to do two sentences. You need to do one sentence describing the bar chart, and you need to do another sentence describing the pie chart. Now, if you're really talented, you can describe them both in one sentence using a compound complex sentence. And if you can really show the ability to do that, you can really score some good points with the graders. Okay, but for a general overview, right, the general overview is where we look at the bar chart and the pie chart and look at what do we see in general, right? What are our highs and lows that we have to look at? And remember, our general overview paragraph should be 2 to 3 sentences, no more than that. The reason why I limit you on the amount of sentences to write is it allows for you to answer the question completely, and also it allows for you to finish on time and give the correct amount of words. Writing more does not mean better. Okay, writing a whole lot of sentences and not finishing and doing a horrible job is not good. All right, so I'm showing you the process. Do it the way that I'm telling you to do it, and you'll be able to get a really good score. All right, so when we're looking at this one, first we look at the bar chart, and we have men and women. So let's just look at it and say, well, for the women, what's the high? The high for the women is sculpture. The high for the women is sculpture, and the low for the women is the high for the women is language, and the low for the women is sculpture. The high for the men is painting, and the low for the men is drama. It looks like actually drama and sculpture are the low for the men. So those are our highs and lows. When we look at the percentages, the lowest percentage is for under 20, and the highest percentage is for over 50. So we take that information and we're going to create our sentences. We're going to create our sentences using that information. Okay, that's how we're going to create our sentences. All right, so least interest in the sculpture class. Okay, so there we have our first sentence about the women, right? In terms of the women choosing to take the language class the most and showing the least interest in the sculpture class. The drama and the sculpture. All right, and there we have our sorry about that. Our tie for the lowest number of men. So there we have, here we have 3 sentences that describe our general overview. All right, we have our 3 sentences that describe our general overview. We talked about the high and low for the women. We talked about the high and low for the men. And we have to do a 3rd sentence now for the pie chart. A final point. Okay, and there we go. We did a general overview. We did a general overview and we captured everything right there. So sometimes when you have a double chart, it can take a little bit more in terms of the sentences and doing it. But you can see here that we've captured everything in our general overview. We talked about the high and low for the bar chart. We talked about the high and low for the pie chart. And this is what it would look like, right? Okay, so now let's move on and we'll do another general overview paragraph for a different one. I'm doing it this way so I can show you that process and procedure don't change. Okay, our process and procedure don't change. It stays the same, it stays consistent. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, what type you have to do. Okay, so now let's move on and let's keep